Hello to everybody here. We are in the Vento Nuovo Games headquarters in Milan, and what I would like to share today with you is a very quick overview of blocks in Africa. So opening the box and checking all the components. Blocks in Africa was out on October 31 this year, so almost 2 weeks ago, and let's have a look at the box. As you can see around the box we have some historical citations, quotes. So in example, General Francesco Rena or Division Ariete, we have 3 tanks left, we counterattack. And this was the last communication sent from the LMA battlefield. And then we have more others, such as Admiral Cunningham or Winston Churchill, and we have more inside. About the back, as you can see, the box is around 2 kilograms and it is quite heavy. We have a description of the game and an overview of the Blocks in Africa map. The counters, we have more than 240 counters in the games, and an overview of the 3 games combined together. 3 games because Blocks in Africa can be combined with Blocks in the East and Blocks in the West to play one of the 4 7 turns long scenarios, or the very long and amazing 1939 campaign. By the way, if you just want to play one of the short scenarios, short because they last from 1 to 3 hours of Blocks in Africa, the only thing you need is inside the game box. So let's have a look what it comes inside. As you can see, the box is white. It is a special white. It is called bright white, sorry. Inside the box we have more than 300 wooden components. Let's start having a look at them. We have the Axis side first, so the Italians, the Germans, and the Axis Navy. Let's put them apart and let's have a look at the other blocks. The Allies, the British, the French, light blue, the minors, so Yugoslavian, Greek, Polish, and other Allied minors. Then we have the Allied Navy, white blocks. Finally, about blocks, we have 3 Axis forts, which are orange blocks, and the Soviet Navy on pink blocks. On these blocks, you have to sticker the appropriate stickers, which are here inside the Blocks in Africa rules manual. The stickers are PVC stickers, so they can be stickered and detached and restickered again, so they are not made of paper. So for example, just to make a test on how it works, if you are able to recognize the units, you will probably sticker them very quickly because they have a flag or a color. So for example, this one is an American submarine, coastal submarine, so it must be stickered over a white block. Here it comes, because it's a navy. But if I take this one, which is the Greek leader, Papagopoulos, it must go on a brown block. Of course, all this information are inside the rules manual, or if you want to know one by one where the sticker goes, please check Vento Nuovo Games, Vento Nuovo Net or Board Game Geek for the detailed way to sticker each block. So this is a standard edition. One thing I missed at the beginning, so we don't have any special thing or items. We just have the stickers, and A very quick one. As you can see, we made a mistake in Blocks in the West because we printed the wrong turn entry of these two American units. But you know, we are humans, so we make mistakes, but we provide with the right stickers for the Americans. So you can just remove the wrong stickers and put these new ones, which are the replacement stickers for Blocks in the West. So let's have a look. Now I'm doing something wrong because I'm applying them, as Americans, on a brown blocks, and I want to do this. Let's say that then I realize that this is a mistake. I can simply remove it. Again, this is PVC, it is not paper. Okay, so for example, I can sticker it here for a couple of hours and then I can remove them. Let's have a look at the other components. So we have production cubes and they come into two separate bags. We have general production cubes, which are yellow. Then we have blue aircraft and red armor. And finally we have white for the Navy. We have two bags. In this bag we have one, the only American block, which is the Navy leader, and I believe it is dark. We can easily apply on this. While the other one, the tanned or unpainted, is for the turn tracker. So this is the only American unit going on a green block. About the turn tracker, you can find it here. They are just smaller because we have saved space to get the two replacement stickers, which were more important, and I can easily apply them on this. And about other components, we have here dice, which are, this time they come yellow with black dots, and we have 5 because the highest unit, the strongest unit in Blocks in Africa has 5 steps. Then we have out of supply plastic barrels. We do them 5, and we have fuel supply barrels, which are black, and we have 10. Then white factories, you will not use them in Blocks in Africa, but they are just a nice companion when you play the 1939 campaign with the Navy, because as we will see later, this game can be played with or without the Navy. About the map, as we said at the beginning, the map is double laminated, waterproof, alcohol and acid resistance, and the reason is that it is double laminated. It is not that large because it covers basically all the area where the Desert War was fought. One thing which is more important, this map is almost indestructible, so before you start playing, just remember that you should do this thing. In this way, your map will fall perfectly on your gaming table. So, don't worry, you will not destroy this. And after doing this easy procedure, okay, now the table is already occupied by other things, but as you can see, it lays flat. In this map, we have just redrawn some things and added some details. So, for example, we have the Delta Special Victory Area, which is made of 7 axes, which are the 5 axes of the Suez Canal, plus Cairo and Alexandria. Then we have this incomplete British infrastructure, which is the railroad going from Port Said to Jerusalem, which historically was built in August 1942. And as you can see, the Suez Canal is signaling the border between Africa and Middle East. Because in this game, when we talk of Africa written with the key, we mean that we are talking about both Africa properly and the Middle East. So, for example, here around Istanbul, we have Europe and Middle East as a demarcation that here it is Europe, and on the other side of the Bosphorus it is Middle East. So, as you can see, Turkey is a special case because it belongs to two different special areas and it has two capitals. So it has Istanbul and Ankara. And for these reasons, both must be enemy controlled to get the Turkish surrender. So they are quite nasty to get out of the war. Now, let's have a quick look at the rules manual. We have a rules manual which is dedicated to the game itself, and it is Blocks in Africa. It is colored and it is full of examples of play which are usually marked in dark blue. So let me see. Okay, this one, as you can see, it is in blue. So this is an example. And then we have a description of main features such as game components, setup instructions, basic definitions, units, the thing we were dealing before, so Africa plus the Middle East, and then the rules manual, which is quite plenty of images and of examples, and go directly to the end with an example of how the battle is fought between the 5 combat steps or segment, as you prefer. Then we have special units. These are elite, and we have the Desert Rats, the Africa Corps, and the Italian Folgore Division. In the advanced game, which provides you with more historical and interesting rules for more details, you have special rule for ZOC, advanced supply, and the use of fuel, and the use of strategic leaders, and so on. Cavalry charge, artillery targeting, air reconnaissance, Jericho trumpets, and panzers attack. Finally, we have an overview of the naval rules, because in Blocks in Africa you have 6 ground scenarios and 4 naval battles. So we have 6 scenarios, fought on ground, so Middle East Uprising, Operation Exported, Tobruk, El Alamein, Desert Fox, and Compass, with a very detailed setup instructions, and then we have 4 naval battles. What else? After you have played a couple of times every scenario, so we will probably start wanting to play something more, and then it is time to combine Blocks in Africa with Blocks in the East and Blocks in the West to play one of the 7 turn scenarios. We have 4. One starting from June 41, one from June 42, one June 43, and one from June 44. Every scenario lasts for 7 turns, so they finish in December. We have special rules. Well, I would not say they are special rules. They are just clarifications about some specific areas, because you must learn how to deal with different weather zones, and they are east and west, or for example specific areas such as how to cross from Sardinia to Corsica, how to deal with Gibraltar or with Malta, and so on. Then an overview of resource management, because in the big game you have to decide how many production points send every time to Africa, in example, or how many production points invest in building your factories. And then we have specific rules for every powers. So we start with the Axis, so this is Germany. It has special rules such as special leaders, special Stuka bombers, the German Africa Corps, the Wehrmacht 1941 reforms, and paratrooper grounding, and so on. Then Italy. Now I don't want to waste your time with all of these details, but every specific rules for the powers is listed here. So Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and so on. Then the Allies with the Soviet Union, and we go on with the French, the British, the Americans, and we go. Then here we have an example of about how to trace supply across the Caucasus, and this is very interesting. And then we have a sheet, just as you remember, to summarize the political and diplomatic changes that can happen during the game. So, for example, if we take a nation, let's say Romania, Romania started the game in September 1939 as a neutral, not aligned, and it becomes Axis leading as soon as the Soviet-Romanian Limited War has been declared. After it becomes pro-Axis as soon as Vienna War has been called for, and finally it joins Axis as soon as Yugoslavia. Sorry, I missed the line. As soon as Greece or Yugoslavia join the Allies or have been attacked. And then the index. But as we were saying at the beginning, managing this beast, I mean combining three games, may be very, very difficult. And this is the reason why we have included 10 of this. So we have a player ID showing the major terrain description and effect of movement and on attack in both, and in combat, both attack and defense, and special situation here. On the back, we have technology development, because as you already know, we have 3 different technology levels in every field, and we have 5 different fields. We have just a reminder for main phases. And then the strategic map. And now, if you don't mind, I would like to use this to introduce a new concept, because when you combine the 3 games, you use this one. Unless you are playing the 1939 campaign with the Navy, then you use this one. Other help, just to remember the main rules regarding the use of the Navy. And now I want to show you one thing before we go to watch at this. The Blocks Trilogy. This is the rules manual to play the long and gargantuan 1939 campaign. So from the attack on Poland till the end of the Nazi Germany. And this rules manual, you also have scenario setup instructions for the 7 turn scenarios. So this is the setup for the 1941. You have here some historical guide. And talking about history, just remember that this series has been developed after very long and tough research, but not everything looks like as it is. So, after remember these words, I want to show you some things very special. But back to us. Here we have the 1939 campaign special rules. Okay, this is a campaign lasting for something like 70 turns. We are talking of more than 200 hours. So, yes, you need a place how to keep the game going on. Okay, in the end, you have additional rules if you decide to play this campaign with the Navy, because you can play the campaign of 39 with or without the Navy. And in the end, you have some notes about the Axis strategy, the general strategy, the Western Allies strategy, and some notes from the designer and the index. The last thing I would like to show you, as we have been talking about the 1939 campaign, the setup is there, but as a reminder you have it here, and you have also the victory conditions listed here. My personal advice is to play at least 20 games before you start dealing with the 1939 campaign, because then you will be to deal with something like 1000 counters plus resource management, cubes, factories and so on, and can be really devastating. Also because every unit is unique. That means that this is the Casablanca, Meknes, Marrakesh, Bonn, and this is the Bulgarian Cavalry Division. These are the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd and the 4th Bulgarian Infantry Corps. This is the Shah, Reza Pahlavi. These are the Italian motorized infantry, the 20, the 21, the 23, the Liebig, and so on. So, get some confidence with the basic scenarios. On the back of this, you have the order of battle of the Italians. So, they set up like this, and then they start getting technology breakthrough at a specific date or new reinforcement, and also you have here listed all the special events regarding the Italians. So, for example, Addis Ababa is fallen, or Africa is lost, Africa is Axis, and so on. The same kind of treatment has been reserved to every power in the game. So, for example, these are the Soviets, and you have the Soviet order of battle from the beginning, and then the unit bonus coming from one of the 4 Soviet limited wars. As soon as all these units are in play and at full strength, whoop, Soviet mobilization completed. This means that we can have the game. The Soviets can attack the Soviets can attack the Axis, and we have a player ID for every power. So, for example, this one is for the French. Now, I don't want to bother you. Here we have an example of play of the German production, and here we have UK production. That said, I believe I have covered with you, maybe with a bit of rush, all the components we have in the standard edition, but if you don't mind, I would like to steal 1 minute of your time to present you one thing which is now disappeared, and it was the Blocks in Africa limited edition. The difference: this is a numbered copy, and the box is full laminated and glossy varnished. The games come with a t-shirt, and yeah, I know it is weird, but customer can choose the size. So this is a Russell Athletic, and it is a XXL. In the limited edition we have special components, so the same kind of components of the standard ones, but better dice, and they are colored and translucent because you have Italian light green and British dark blue. And then we have the Blocks in Africa card deck. The Blocks in Africa card deck is just a nice reminder to the main rules in the game. So it doesn't introduce new rules, it is just a reminder. But these cards, as you can see, are double laminated, UV matted and 3D. Please let me say they are amazing. So we have Italy Declares War, Africa Corps, Wilson Force, Torch, Tobruk is Fallen, The Delta Inside, Operation Exporter, Middle East Pipeline, and so on. But I need to rush because time is against us. So in the limited edition we have special flags for Victory City. So the 3 factions, the Axis, the Western Allies and the Soviet, when they control, let's say, Paris, they can put a blue flag on it, just as a reminder. The same happens when the Soviets control, let's say, Berlin, they put a red flag over. And the same happens to the Axis. They have a black flag. What about the yellow flag? The yellow flag is for the delta is contested special area, because as you know, it is made of 7 axes, and then if the Axis control 2 axes and the British 5, then the delta is contested and you put the yellow flag over. Finally, this is the special pre-order bonus. It was a special thing we have developed for France, and it includes the Africa is Lost, Africa is Axis double-side card, and the special NATO edition stickers from the Blocks in the East Chrome expansion. This was the pre-order bonus. And now the last thing I want to show you about the limited edition is that the icon stickers, because the limited edition comes with 2 sets of stickers, as you can see. And so we have the standard stickers here. They are inside Box in Africa rule books, and the icon stickers here. So you can sticker them alternatively. It depends if you like more the icons or the NATO symbols, but this is something really personal, and sometimes I play with the icons, some others with the standard. That's it. Okay, this is not a copy for the market, so this copy is not numbered. But because, yeah, the limited edition was sold out in pre-order on day 6. But usually, sorry, not usually, always, a limited edition has a serial number with the designer signature here. And that's it. Have fun. Ciao.